What if I told you that what you call reality isn't the fixed, concrete thing you've always believed it to be? What if, right now, you are interacting with forces so subtle, so powerful, that they bend time, rewrite your destiny, and rewire every aspect of your life, and you've been doing it unconsciously? Sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But it's not. It's grounded in quantum research and ancient wisdom that's been suppressed or forgotten over time. Mass and energy, terms you've probably heard 1,000 times, aren't separate entities. They're just different expressions of the same thing. Think about that for a moment. Everything you see, everything you touch, and everything you think is just energy wearing different masks. But here's the twist. You are not just a spectator in this energetic universe. You're a creator. Every thought you generate, every emotion you feel, sends a ripple through the very fabric of existence. And yet, most people never learn to direct this force. Why? Because from the moment we're born, we're trained to forget. Trained to believe we're small, fragile, and at the mercy of circumstances. The truth couldn't be more different. Your mind holds a frequency, a signal that interacts with the world at a level so deep it affects matter itself. Top-tier scientists have confirmed what mystics and seers have said for centuries. Your thoughts are not confined to your skull. They stretch outward, into the space around you, influencing everything, not metaphorically, literally. The double-slit experiment, a staple in quantum mechanics, shattered everything we thought we knew about physical matter. Particles behave differently when they're observed. Let that sink in. The very act of watching something changes what it is. If the tiniest pieces of the universe, the very ingredients of all things, are influenced by awareness, then what does that say about you? About your focus, your beliefs, your dominant emotional states? Now extend that logic. If your attention has the power to alter the way particles behave, then your inner world is constantly sculpting the outer one. But most people remain trapped in repetitive cycles. Why? Because they unknowingly replay the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and send out the same energy again and again, anchoring themselves to a version of life they don't even want. But the truth is this: infinite versions of you already exist. Right now, the successful you, the wealthy you, the bold, magnetic, joyful version of yourself is just waiting for you to dial into its frequency. The problem isn't possibility, it's perception. We've been conditioned to believe that only what we can see is real, but quantum theory disagrees. Until something is measured or observed, it exists only as probability, as potential. In other words, your future is not set in stone. It's fluid, dynamic, constantly in flux. And your consciousness is the sculptor. You don't have to understand every detail of quantum physics to begin using this. You just have to decide to become deliberate, conscious, precise. It starts with a simple shift, one that anyone can make. Pick an area of your life that feels stuck. Maybe it's your finances, maybe it's relationships, maybe you're craving more vitality or confidence. Name it. Write it down. Describe what that area looks like right now. Be honest. Then, rewrite the script. Create a new narrative, a new sentence that captures the version you wish to experience. For example, if you feel constantly stressed about money, flip it. Money arrives easily. I am always supported. Now, sit with this. Close your eyes. Picture that new version of reality in vivid detail. What do you feel? Who are you in that scenario? Let the emotion rise inside you. Let it saturate your system. And as you do, understand this isn't just imagination, it's energetic recalibration. You're tuning yourself to a new frequency, and energy always aligns with frequency. Always. This is not a mental exercise alone, it's a full-body shift. You're activating neural pathways in your brain, communicating with your cells, and signaling to the quantum field what reality you are ready to receive. But here's the catch. It must feel real. Thinking isn't enough. You need to feel it as if it's already happening. That emotional resonance is the key. Without it, your signal is too weak to influence reality in any meaningful way. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain is not just a processor, it's a transmitter and receiver. Within your neurons are microscopic structures called microtubules, and leading scientists believe these function like quantum processors. What that means is your thoughts don't just bounce around inside your head. They extend outward, interfacing with the universe like software uploads to a master system. What you believe, what you dwell on, and what you emotionally align with becomes instruction code for the world you inhabit. So when you say, "I'll never be good enough," or "nothing ever works out for me," it's not just negative self-talk, it's an energetic order. And the universe, being the precise mirror that it is, reflects that reality back to you with uncanny precision. But the moment you learn to rewrite those internal codes, your external life begins to reshape accordingly. This is not philosophy, it's physics, it's biology, it's pure, repeatable science. Your emotions play a more powerful role than your thoughts alone. That's because your heart, the center of your emotional energy, generates an electromagnetic field many times stronger than your brain's. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that this field is measurable several feet away from your body and changes depending on what you feel. Joy, love, gratitude, these expand your field, making you magnetic. Fear, doubt, resentment, these shrink it, cutting you off from intuitive guidance and synchronistic flow. Now, imagine what happens when your thoughts and emotions are in harmony, when your mind and heart send out the same signal. This is called coherence. And in this state, your energy becomes laser-focused, your body heals faster, your intentions gain power, and the universe begins to match your vibration with incredible accuracy. Let's go deeper. Think about this. Have you ever thought of someone and seconds later they called you? Have you ever entered a room and instantly picked up the emotional state of others without a word being spoken? These aren't coincidences. This is the human energy field at work. This is the invisible web of consciousness that connects all living things. And whether you're aware of it or not, you're influencing it and being influenced by it every single moment. That's why mastering your inner energy is not just a cool trick, it's essential. Because if you don't learn to direct it consciously, it will be directed for you by your environment, by old patterns, by media, by programming you didn't choose. And the result? A life lived on repeat, where the same problems resurface again and again. Not because you're cursed or unlucky, but because you're broadcasting the same signal every day. So, how do you change it? How do you shift into coherence and begin sculpting a life that feels like freedom, like joy, like deep fulfillment? It starts with the heart. Put your hand over your chest right now. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale for 5 seconds. Hold it. Now exhale for 5 seconds. Do this a few more times. As you breathe, recall a moment of deep appreciation. Someone you love, a time you succeeded, a memory that fills you with warmth. Let that feeling grow. Let it flood your body. This is not pretend. This is energetic alignment. And in this state, your electromagnetic field becomes coherent. Your signal becomes clear. You're no longer sending mixed messages to the universe. You do this every day, even for a minute, and your life starts to bend in unexpected ways. People treat you differently. Solutions arise out of nowhere. Your path begins to clear. This is not self-help fluff. It's real, observable, and replicable. The only question is whether you'll use it. And that's just the beginning. Because once you understand how to generate and sustain this powerful energy field, you'll learn how to amplify it, how to transmit it with intention, and how to use it to influence not just your life, but the lives of others, the environment around you, even the trajectory of your future. This is the edge where science meets mysticism, where the old ways and the new data converge to reveal the most empowering truth of all, that you are not a pawn in a vast, uncaring universe. You are the co-author of existence. And when you learn to master energy, your emotions, your focus, your state of being, you unlock a power that most people never even dream is real. You've been told that life is random, that success is rare, that joy is fleeting. But now you know better. You know that energy responds to intention, and intention is born from awareness. The more aware you become of your own frequency, the more you can tune it. The more you tune it, the more the universe must respond. Not might, not maybe, must. Now that you've begun to glimpse the truth, that your energy is a shaping force, not a passive stream, you're starting to remember what the world had trained you to forget. That power you feel stirring inside isn't your imagination, it's your birthright. And now, as we peel back the layers of illusion, you're going to learn exactly how to unlock and expand it, how to turn it into something you can direct, amplify, and wield. Let's dig even deeper into what your brain and heart are doing behind the scenes. Your body is not just a physical machine. It's a network of energy centers, communication hubs, and quantum receivers. At its core, your brain doesn't just store information. It's a quantum processor, constantly interacting with the energetic field around you. The thoughts you produce are not abstract or harmless. They are electric pulses, electromagnetic waves that ripple outward and inform the reality that mirrors back to you. Inside your brain, there are microstructures called microtubules. Scientists have been investigating these tiny tubes because they don't behave like ordinary biological components. They seem to perform quantum calculations. What does that mean? It means your brain might literally be a biological quantum computer, constantly influencing the quantum field, where every possibility exists, and collapsing those possibilities into outcomes based on what you most dominantly think, feel, and expect. And that's where the real secret lies, not in what you think about once in a while, but in what you believe on repeat. The stories you whisper to yourself in silence, the emotions you replay when no one is watching. The internal atmosphere you live in is what determines your external reality. So, when someone spends their entire day thinking they're not good enough, fearing failure, expecting rejection, those thoughts aren't just contained in their mind. They're shaping the outer world in response. This is why affirmations without feeling fall flat. Why vision boards alone don't work. Because your true frequency isn't set by what you wish for. It's set by what you emotionally inhabit. If you say you want wealth, but emotionally live in fear of lack, your signal is confused. The field doesn't bring you what you want. It brings you what you are. Here's where your heart comes in, and it's more important than most people realize. For centuries, the heart was seen as just a blood-pumping muscle. But science has revealed something astonishing. Your heart emits a measurable electromagnetic field that is more than 5,000 times stronger than your brain's, and it extends several feet beyond your body. This field changes based on how you feel. Gratitude, joy, compassion. These elevate the frequency. Anger, guilt, fear, they weaken it, distort it. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, you enter what's known as heart-brain coherence. In this state, your entire system harmonizes. Your brainwaves and heart rhythms sync. Your body functions more efficiently. Your energy becomes stable and powerful, and reality responds. The coherence you create internally begins echoing into your relationships, your opportunities, even your health. People notice you without knowing why. Things start to just work out. Not by accident, not by chance, but because your signal is finally clear. Now, let's bring this down to earth. This isn't about floating in bliss all day or pretending that nothing ever goes wrong. Life will still throw things at you. But when you've trained yourself to stay in coherence, when you've built a stable frequency of confidence, calm, and clarity, those external challenges lose their grip. You respond instead of reacting. You choose instead of being swept up. You stop leaking energy through fear and anxiety, and instead, you radiate power that the universe cannot ignore. There's a reason why some people seem to attract everything they need with minimal effort, while others struggle endlessly for scraps of progress. It's not about how hard you work, it's about the energy you emit. This is not an excuse to avoid action, it's a call to take the right kind of action, aligned action, energy-first action. If you wake up each day consumed by stress, scrolling through bad news, feeling overwhelmed, then go into the world expecting success, it's like trying to grow flowers in poisoned soil. You have to tend to your inner world first. You have to plant a signal that says, this is who I am now, this is what I expect, this is what I radiate, and then you move in the world from that space. Let's do something practical right now. It will take less than 2 minutes, but it's the kind of exercise that can shift everything if done consistently. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, drop your shoulders. Place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes. Let your breathing slow. Now bring up a feeling, something that truly made you feel alive. It could be a moment of love, a time when someone believed in you, a memory of standing in your power. Let that feeling grow. Feel it fill your chest, your limbs, your whole being. Let it grow until it becomes bigger than your thoughts. Now, imagine broadcasting that feeling out into the space around you. Imagine people feeling it when you walk into a room. Imagine reality adjusting itself to reflect that state back to you. That's heart-brain coherence. That's energy transmission. That's the foundation of energy mastery. But we're going to go even further. Your body doesn't just produce energy, it also holds it. It carries emotional imprints, stored memories, and outdated programs in your nervous system and your energy field. And if you don't clear them out, they become energetic noise that distorts your frequency. They cause you to sabotage yourself even when your intentions are pure. That's why many people who do the inner work still feel stuck. They've changed their thoughts, but their energy still carries the residue of trauma, fear, or scarcity. This is where emotional alchemy comes in. It's the practice of taking those old emotions and transforming them, not denying them, not burying them, but using them as fuel. You can take the energy of anger, of grief, of deep frustration, and transmute it into clarity, determination, and strength. Emotions are not your enemy, they are raw energy. When you stop judging them and start working with them, you become unstoppable. Here's a truth that might surprise you. Even your negative experiences were energy in motion, bringing you to this exact point. The pain, the loss, the failures, they cracked you open, made you ask better questions, and pushed you toward remembering who you really are. And now, you have the tools to make all of it mean something more. Now you get to turn your history into power. Think of your energy field like a musical instrument. The more finely tuned it is, the clearer the sound it makes. When your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and your body are in harmony, your life becomes like music, flowing, resonant, and magnetic. You've probably heard the term vibration tossed around a lot. But what does it really mean? Everything in the universe is vibrating at a frequency. And your body, your cells, your thoughts, your emotions, each carry a vibration of their own. When you're aligned with a high frequency, joy, love, certainty, you resonate with other things that carry that same energetic signature. You attract people, experiences, and outcomes that match your dominant state. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. You don't have to be in a state of bliss every minute of the day, but the more often you return to coherence, the more stable your frequency becomes. And soon, it becomes your new normal. Your set point rises, your baseline improves. You're no longer getting pulled down by every external trigger. You become a lighthouse, steady, powerful, and unmistakable. So, how do you maintain this elevated energy in the real world? You build habits that support it. You create rituals that anchor you. You design your day not just for productivity, but for alignment. Morning breath work, midday gratitude check-ins, evening reflection. These aren't just routines, they're energy practices. And they train your system to stay calibrated even in chaos. You start paying attention to the people you let into your energy field. You notice how you feel after spending time with them. Are they charging you up or draining you? Energy doesn't lie. You begin curating your environment, what you listen to, what you consume, what you believe. Every piece of input shapes your frequency, whether you're aware of it or not. And most importantly, you learn to listen, not just with your ears, but with your entire being. You feel the subtle shifts in your body. You notice when your field contracts or expands. You learn to move through the world, not just logically, but energetically. That's when life starts to feel different, not because everything is perfect on the outside, but because everything inside is clear, aligned, and empowered. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you already are. Once the noise, the programming, the self-doubt has been stripped away. You're not here to play small. You're not here to fit in. You're here to radiate so fully that others remember their light just by standing near you. Energy mastery is not a destination. It's a practice, a way of being. And it begins with a single choice: to no longer let your thoughts and emotions be dictated by the outside world, but to take command of your internal landscape and let that sculpt everything else. Because the truth is, you've never been powerless. You've just been distracted from your power. But now you know, now you see, and once you see, you cannot unsee. This is the moment where the script changes. This is the point where you stop waiting for something outside of you to shift, and you become the force that moves everything. And in the next part, we'll go even further into the secrets of manipulating energy, not just for yourself, but in the world around you. Because once you learn how to sustain high-frequency energy and direct it intentionally, there are no limits to what you can influence. You ready? So, here we are. You've already begun the process of awakening to your true nature, not as a passive observer, but as a powerful participant in the unfolding of reality. You're learning to sense energy, to understand the influence of your own electromagnetic field, and to tune it deliberately. But this is where we begin to amplify. You're not just going to hold coherent energy, you're going to direct it, expand it, and project it into the fabric of the world around you. This is where internal mastery turns into external influence. Let's begin with a basic truth. Energy responds to direction, not force, not willpower, but clarity. Energy flows where attention goes. But even more importantly, it flows where intention is stable. The difference between people who manifest results quickly and those who struggle for years lies in one thing: clarity of signal. Most people walk through life sending out scrambled energy. They want one thing, but expect another. They desire abundance, but vibrate scarcity. They aim for love, but radiate insecurity. And the universe, being precise, matches their frequency, not their words. So your first step in energy direction is to stabilize your signal. You do this by creating emotional alignment. You decide what you want, not with desperation, but with certainty. And then you choose to feel that outcome as if it already exists. Not once, not when you're in the mood, but repeatedly, until your nervous system begins to believe it, until your body registers it as real. Because when your system is fully aligned with a future reality, the field around you begins adjusting to match it. Now let's take it one level deeper. The heart's electromagnetic field doesn't just extend beyond your body, it actually carries encoded information. And this data can be picked up by other people, even without words being spoken. You've felt this before. You've walked into rooms where something felt off without knowing why. You've met someone and instantly felt trust or resistance. These are not guesses. These are energetic communications taking place beyond your conscious awareness. This is where we step into energetic influence, not manipulation, but transmission. The ability to hold a frequency so clearly that it affects the environment. The ability to walk into a room and shift its mood without saying a word. The ability to transmit calm in chaos, confidence in uncertainty, abundance in limitation. When you reach this level of energy mastery, things start to happen around you that others call luck. But it's not luck, it's resonance. You're simply becoming a tuning fork for higher outcomes. And others begin to respond, not to your words, but to your field. This is why emotional regulation is not just personal work, it's universal influence. When you stabilize your emotional energy, your reality stabilizes. You're no longer reacting to the environment, you're leading it. This is how leaders operate, not by force, but by frequency. Let's talk about coherence again, but in a broader context. When your heart and mind are in sync, you emit a field that promotes synchronization in others. Studies have shown that when one person enters a state of heart-brain coherence, the people near them begin to shift into similar states. This means your internal work ripples out and begins creating order in external systems. Families, teams, even communities begin to respond to the coherence of one individual. That's the level of influence you're learning to unlock. But there's more, much more. Quantum entanglement is a term used in physics to describe a phenomenon where two particles become so deeply linked that their states remain connected, no matter how far apart they are. When one changes, the other responds instantly. This is not theory, it's measurable, repeatable science. And here's what it means for you. Connection isn't limited by space or time. You are already entangled with people, places, and possibilities based on the energy you've shared, the choices you've made, and the intentions you've set. This is why your thoughts can reach people, why you think of someone and they reach out, why you feel something in your gut before an event even occurs. Your awareness is already operating at a quantum level. You're just learning how to use it consciously. You can influence energy across distance. You can send intention to someone miles away. You can project healing, love, clarity, not through words, through energy, through thought, emotion, and frequency. This is not mystical, it's measurable, and it's a power that every human being holds. Most just don't know how to focus it. So let's bring this into practice. Sit quietly for a moment, breathe in slowly, breathe out. Think of someone you care about who's been struggling. Bring their face into your mind. Now imagine sending them peace, not as a wish, but as a feeling. Feel that peace in your own body first. Let it grow. Now extend it to them, not through hope, through certainty, through knowing. Do this for 1 full minute. What you just did is transmit coherent energy. You just influence their field. And the more you practice this, the stronger your signal becomes. Now, Let's talk about attraction. The word manifestation has been misused and misunderstood. It's not about forcing outcomes. It's not about getting whatever you want just by wishing for it. Real manifestation is magnetic. It happens when your internal frequency matches the reality you want to experience. Think of your life like a radio. You can only hear the music that matches the station you're tuned to. If you're stuck on the frequency of doubt, fear, and lack, you can't receive the broadcast of abundance, clarity, and power. But when you shift your internal frequency consistently, not only do you attract new outcomes, you begin to repel old ones. Patterns start breaking, cycles stop repeating. You outgrow situations effortlessly because you're no longer a vibrational match for them. This is not about bypassing reality. It's about mastering it, aligning with it, becoming one with the version of life that already exists in the field, waiting for you to step into it. And this leads us to the most important part of this journey: belief. Your beliefs are not just ideas, they are instructions. Every belief you hold sends a signal into the quantum field. If you believe deep down that you are unworthy, that belief becomes a frequency. And the universe, being the perfect mirror, reflects situations that confirm it. But the opposite is also true. When you begin to embody the belief that you are powerful, supported, and capable of shaping your world, new experiences begin to line up. Not because they didn't exist before, but because your frequency finally matched them. This is why affirmations work only when belief follows. It's why visualization works only when feeling is present. It's not enough to say it. You must believe it, feel it, live it. And belief is built through repetition and evidence. Start collecting proof. Look at your past wins, small victories, moments where things lined up unexpectedly, times when your intuition was spot on. These are not random, these are breadcrumbs. Clues that you've always been more powerful than you realized. Use these as building blocks for your new identity, because that's what this is really about, creating a new energetic identity, the version of you that doesn't just hope for change, but expects it, that doesn't react to circumstances, but reprograms them, that walks into uncertainty with confidence, because you're no longer living by default, you're living by design. You're not here to wish, you're here to create. And creation begins with internal alignment. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you open your email, tune your energy. Choose the frequency you want to carry. Anchor it through breath, through emotion, through thought. This is your energetic compass. It guides everything. When challenges arise, and they will, don't panic. Return to alignment. Don't force solutions. Raise your frequency and let answers emerge. This is not passivity. This is mastery. You will reach a point where your energy speaks louder than your words, where people sense your certainty, where opportunities show up without struggle. And at that point, you'll realize something profound. You were never chasing results. You were becoming the version of yourself who attracts them. That's the difference. That's the shift. And the deeper you go into this work, the more it becomes who you are. Not something you do occasionally, but something you live every day. In the next part, we're going to explore how energy flows through your body like a current, how you can strengthen it, unblock it, and direct it for healing, focus, and limitless expansion. We'll look at the energetic pathways your ancestors mapped thousands of years ago, and how modern science is finally catching up. Because this isn't about inspiration anymore, it's about embodiment. And once you embody this power, your life will never be the same. Everything you've learned so far has brought you to this moment. You've begun to understand that you are not just a thinker of thoughts, not just a body moving through a fixed world, but a living, breathing energy system that's constantly shaping, responding to, and influencing reality at the deepest level. But now, let's take this even further, not in theory, but in practice. Because energy isn't just an idea, it's an experience. And once you know how to feel it, harness it, and move it through your body with intention, you step into a level of influence and vitality that most people never even realize is available to them. Your body is more than flesh and bone. It's an intelligent energy matrix, a living network of currents and pathways. For thousands of years, ancient traditions have known this. In China, they called it qi. In India, it was prana. Indigenous cultures all over the world had their own names for it. And while Western science is only recently catching up, modern research now confirms what the ancients intuitively understood. Your body is electric. Your cells communicate through electrical signals. Your brain, your heart, even your muscles, all powered and connected through the flow of bioelectric energy. But what's even more fascinating is that this energy isn't random. It follows structure. It moves along invisible channels, much like the wiring in a building. These channels have been mapped for millennia. In Chinese medicine, they're called meridians. In yoga, they're known as nadis. And at the intersection points of these pathways are powerful energy centers known as chakras. These aren't just mystical symbols, they're functional energy hubs that regulate different aspects of your physical, emotional, and spiritual state. Each one corresponds to certain organs, glands, and psychological patterns. When energy flows freely through these centers, you feel balanced, powerful, and aligned. When it's blocked or sluggish, you experience fatigue, confusion, emotional volatility, even illness. So how does this relate to energy control? Because once you learn to work with these pathways consciously, you gain direct access to the controls of your own system. You can raise your energy when you need focus. You can calm it when you're overwhelmed. You can direct it for healing, connection, or manifestation. You become the operator, not the passenger. Let's explore this with something simple. Start by paying attention to your breath. Not just breathing to survive, but breathing to shift energy. Slow, deep breaths signal your body to move out of survival mode. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for healing, restoration, and clarity. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes shallow, erratic. Your energy becomes fragmented. But when you breathe deeply and slowly, especially through your nose and down into your belly, you re-establish energetic flow. You ground yourself. You center your field. Try this now. Breathe in slowly for 5 seconds, hold it for 5, then exhale gently for 5 more seconds. Do this 3 times. As you breathe, place your awareness in your heart. Not your physical heart, but the space in the center of your chest. Feel the rhythm, feel the warmth. Now imagine light beginning to grow in that space, a soft, glowing presence. With every breath, feel it expand. This isn't pretend. You're activating your energetic heart center. You're charging it with coherent emotion. Now, visualize that light flowing upward into your brain, bringing clarity, downward into your gut, bringing stability, outward through your limbs, bringing power. What you're doing here is unblocking energy that may have been dormant for years. You're reminding your body how to communicate in harmony. And with enough practice, this state becomes your new default. But it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about energy leakage. Most people feel tired not because they don't have enough energy, but because they're wasting it. They're scattering it in 1,000 directions without realizing it. Every time you engage in negative thinking, you leak energy. Every time you argue, worry, or replay past events, your energy bleeds out into the void. And the more you do this, the weaker your field becomes. Energy mastery is about conservation as much as it is about creation. You begin by becoming aware of where your energy goes. Who do you give it to? What thoughts are you feeding? What patterns are draining you day after day? Now, here's where things get powerful. You can cut these energy drains, not with anger, not with avoidance, but with clear intention. Imagine your energy as golden threads connecting you to everything in your life. Some threads feel strong, nourishing. Others feel tangled, heavy, or toxic. You have the power to pull your energy back, to call it home, to seal your field. Here's a practice you can try right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Say silently or out loud, I call all my energy back to me now. I release anything that does not serve me. I am whole. I am complete. Visualize your energy returning to your body like golden light. Feel it recharging your system. Do this daily. You'll be shocked at how quickly you begin to feel stronger, clearer, and more in control. But the next step is where things begin to feel truly magical, directing energy. Once you've learned how to generate and conserve energy, you can start using it deliberately. Want to energize a goal? Channel energy into it. Want to heal a part of your body? Send energy there. Want to increase your magnetism in a conversation or negotiation? Radiate your energy outward with clarity and intention. This is not metaphor. This is real, actionable practice. Let's say you want to boost your confidence. Sit or stand with your spine straight. Place your hands a few inches apart in front of your chest, palms facing each other. Focus your attention on the space between them. Breathe deeply. After a moment, you might feel warmth, tingling, or pressure. This is the energy field building between your palms. Now, visualize that energy growing brighter and stronger. Imagine it as the frequency of confidence, steady, certain, grounded. Now, press that energy gently into your chest. Let it absorb into your system. You've just transferred energy into your own field with intention. The more often you do this, the more your nervous system will begin to recognize and reproduce that frequency on its own. This practice can be adapted for any emotional or energetic state you wish to cultivate: joy, clarity, resilience, even creativity. You are not limited by what's happening around you. You are empowered by what you choose to feel and project. You can also use energy to influence environments. Have you ever entered a space that felt heavy? You can clear that energy. Imagine light sweeping through the room like a breeze. Imagine it dissolving the stagnant frequencies. See the air becoming clearer, lighter. This isn't fantasy. It's energetic hygiene. Just as you clean your body, you can clean your field and your surroundings. But let's not forget the most important environment of all, your own inner landscape, because that's the one shaping everything else. This is where deeper clearing comes in. Because if your energy system is cluttered with past pain, limiting beliefs, and suppressed emotion, your frequency will always be compromised, no matter how many affirmations you say or breathwork sessions you do. That's why true energy mastery includes emotional honesty. You don't ignore pain, you transform it. You don't bypass fear, you learn from it. Here's a method you can use. When a negative emotion arises, don't fight it. Don't bury it. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Locate where you feel it in your body. Now, visualize surrounding it with light, not to push it away, but to hold it. Accept it. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. Emotions are messengers, and once they're heard, they transform. You can take that transformed energy and rewire it. For example, if you feel anxiety in your chest, breathe into that space and see the anxiety as a color, maybe gray or dark blue. Then, with each breath, imagine it shifting to a golden hue, lighter, warmer. Eventually, the sensation will shift. You've just turned fear into strength. This is emotional alchemy, and it is one of the most valuable tools in your energy toolbox. Over time, these practices rewire your entire system. Your brain forms new neural pathways. Your body starts responding differently to stress. Your field becomes stable, strong, and resonant. People sense it. Circumstances change. You become a different presence in the world, not because you said the right words, but because you carry the right frequency. That's the secret. The people who seem to flow through life, who attract wealth, success, healthy relationships, they're not always the smartest or the most educated, but their energy is clear. Their field is coherent. They are aligned, and whether they know it or not, they're influencing the world around them with every breath, every thought, every moment of focus. This is the level of mastery you're stepping into. And it doesn't take years, it takes intention. It takes daily practice, 5 minutes in the morning to tune your field, a moment before sleep to clear your energy, a decision, moment by moment, to hold your power rather than give it away. These are the actions that shift timelines. These are the practices that create quantum change. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to eliminate every negative thought, but you do need to be consistent, to come back again and again to the truth, that your energy is the signal and the world is the feedback. When you shift the signal, the world has no choice but to respond. In the next section, we'll go even deeper into the science behind these transformations. You'll learn how to sustain high-frequency energy states over long periods of time, how to apply this to health, relationships, and personal purpose, and how to permanently shift your vibrational set point so you stop falling back into old cycles for good. Because the truth is, the life you want already exists. You're not here to chase it. You're here to become the version of you who lives in it. And that version is already inside you, waiting to be activated. Everything has led to this point. You've explored how your thoughts ripple out into the quantum field, how your heart generates an electromagnetic force that shapes the environment, and how your body is a vessel for directing energy with precision and purpose. But now we go beyond practice. beyond understanding. This final step is embodiment, living the truth of what you now know, not as an idea, but as a way of being. You're not just shifting beliefs, you're becoming the source of change, the origin point of transformation, the architect of your own reality. Let's be absolutely clear. There is no version of you that needs to wait, not for more knowledge, not for better circumstances, not for someone else to give permission. The version of you that is powerful, focused, magnetic. That version already exists, not in some distant future, right now, in this moment. And the only thing standing between you and that identity is a decision. The decision to stop playing small, stop doubting your capacity, and start embodying the frequency of your highest potential, regardless of external conditions. The world doesn't need another person who waits for the right time. It needs individuals who realize they are the time. You are not late, you are not behind, you are right on time, for yourself, for your mission, for the life you were designed to live. Let's bring this into something real. Right now, take a breath. Let it be full. Let it be intentional. As you breathe, feel your awareness sink into your body. Feel the power in your spine, the presence in your chest, the stillness behind your eyes. This is your center. This is your source. And from this space, you send the signal that tells reality what to reflect back. Hold this question in your mind. Who do I choose to be now? Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, but now, in this body, in this moment. What frequency do I choose to live from? Is it peace? Is it certainty? Is it clarity? Choose it. Breathe it. Let it fill you. Because this is how embodiment begins. It doesn't happen through external validation. It happens the moment you decide to match the frequency of your desired reality before it shows up. You live it into existence. That's the secret the world was never taught. That being comes before having. That energy comes before evidence. Most people reverse the formula. They wait to feel successful until they see the results. They wait to feel loved until someone chooses them. They wait to feel powerful until someone approves of them. But the universe doesn't work that way. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And what you are is determined by the energy you live in every single day. So, what does this look like in action? It means walking into every room like you belong there, even before anyone acknowledges you. It means treating yourself as worthy even when no one is watching. It means choosing gratitude when you have nothing to prove and no one to impress. That is real alignment. That is energy mastery. Let's go deeper into the mechanics of this. At a biological level, your subconscious mind runs most of your life. Over 95% of your decisions, actions, and emotional responses are automatic. They're governed by programs stored in the subconscious, the result of repetition, past experiences, and inherited beliefs. Most people live in mental loops that were installed before they were even aware, and they wonder why change feels so hard. But the subconscious is not permanent. It is programmable, and your energy is the access point. When you combine emotion, repetition, and focused attention, you reprogram the patterns that used to limit you. You don't just change your mindset. You change your energetic baseline, your vibrational set point. That's the internal thermostat that determines what you accept, what you expect, and what you attract. So, how do you raise it? You start with the way you wake up. The first few minutes of your day are your most powerful window for energetic imprinting. Your brain is still in a suggestible state. Alpha and theta brainwaves dominate. What you focus on during this time programs your subconscious and sets your energy for the rest of the day. So, don't check your phone, don't scroll through headlines. Instead, choose your signal. Before your feet touch the ground, ask yourself, what energy do I choose to live in today? Then feel it, embody it. Visualize your day unfolding from that state. This simple shift rewires your brain, conditions your nervous system, and aligns your field. Throughout the day, stay aware of your internal state. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be present. Notice when your energy drops. Notice when old patterns try to return. And instead of reacting automatically, pause, breathe, recalibrate. You are no longer the victim of emotion. You are the director of frequency. When you feel overwhelmed, place your hand over your heart. Breathe into it. Feel it expand. Reconnect to your coherence. This is your power source. Always accessible. Always waiting for your return. In the evening, reflect. Not with judgment, but with clarity. What state did you live in today? What patterns did you break? What frequency did you hold? And how did the world respond? This daily rhythm of tuning in, aligning, reflecting, becomes the foundation of your transformation. Over time, you don't just create new results, you create a new identity, a new energetic presence. And from that presence, everything changes. People will feel it before they understand it. They'll notice the difference in your voice, your posture, your choices, and they'll respond, not to what you say, but to what you radiate, because energy doesn't lie. And the universe, it responds with precision. It will match your frequency with experiences, opportunities, and connections that carry the same signal. Not randomly, not eventually, but inevitably. This is why the most powerful people don't chase. They attract, they don't react, they direct. Their life flows not because of luck, but because of alignment. And now, that power is in your hands. But with power comes responsibility. The energy you carry affects others. The thoughts you think ripple into the collective field. The emotions you cultivate contribute to the vibration of humanity itself. This isn't just about personal gain, it's about conscious impact. You're not here to control others. You're here to influence reality through the clarity of your own being. You're here to walk through the world as an anchor for coherence, for abundance, for possibility. And when you do, others remember their power. You become a mirror of what's possible. This is leadership, not through domination, but through frequency. So, now we come full circle. You've remembered what most have forgotten, that reality is not fixed. That energy is the raw material of existence. That your thoughts are not just echoes in your mind. They are instructions to the universe. That your emotions are not weaknesses. They are power signals. That your body is not a limitation. It's your antenna. That your heart is not soft. It's your amplifier. And most importantly, that your life isn't something that happens to you. It's something that happens through you. From this day forward, you no longer wait for permission. You no longer shrink to fit a world that was built on limitation. You no longer dim your light because others are uncomfortable with your brilliance. You decide, you claim, you embody. That is energy mastery. That is reality creation. And that is who you truly are. So here's what you do next. Stand up, breathe deeply, feel the weight of your old limitations fall away. Visualize the highest version of yourself, calm, powerful, focused, vibrant. Now, move as that version, speak as that version, act as that version, until it's no longer a version you're becoming. It's who you are. Make a commitment, not to try, but to live from this truth, to return to it again and again, no matter what. To build it into your days, your choices, your energy. And if you ever forget, just come back to the breath, to your heart, to your power, because it never left. You just needed to remember. And now that you do, there's no going back. The path is open. The energy is flowing. The choice is yours.